Last. Are you listening me? Yes. Are you listening me? Can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? Are you listening me? Are you listening me? Are you listening me? Okay, tell me in your chat box. Okay, Sharoz. Good. Okay, Asia, Veer Fatma. Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? How are you all? Okay. Okay, beta, let's start. Are you listening me clearly? My voice is clear? Okay. Okay, beta, let's start our lecture. Today's lecture is about the Afghan rebirth and the age of enlightenment and the industrial revolution. This is all about our lecture. So our chapter name is, as I told you earlier, the birth of modern world. So this is our second lecture of this chapter. So let's start. You can see all these things on page number 68 in your book. So first of all, we will discuss about the Afghan rebirth. We will discuss about Afghan rebirth, how Afghani tribes reunited or being reunited by Ahmad Shah Abdali, the emperor, and how they how he made his decisions and how he started to follow our constitution. So first of all, we can see that in 1747, the Persian emperor Nadir Shah Durrani was assassinated by his own soldiers. Why, beta? Muhammad Ali? Beta, check your device and tell me, are you listening me? Muhammad Ali? Everyone is listening me? Okay, Asya. Muhammad Ali, beta, hurry up, tell me. Okay, good. Okay, good, beta. Thank you. Rumesa, beta, check your device. Muhammad Ali can listen me clearly. Please, beta, Rumesa, check your device. Tell me, beta, hurry up. Rumesa. Okay, so in 1747, the Persian Emperor Nadir Shah Durrani was assassinated by his own soldiers, and he was the last world conqueror, since no conqueror after him was going to be successful in leaving a large empire behind him. So, okay, Vanessa. So, beta, all of you listen very carefully. It is most important topic. So, in 1747, the Persian emperor, as I told you, Nader Shah Durrani was assassinated by his own soldiers, and he was one of the conquerors who left a large empire behind him. And he was also the last conqueror of the world. So, in the same year, a young Afghani chief, Ahmad Shah Abdali, became the king of Afghanistan. So, in the same year means in 1747, after Nadir Shah, a young Afghan chief, Ahmad Shah Abdali, became the king of Afghanistan. Is it clear? He became the king of Afghanistan, and again united the tribes before when he became the king of Afghanistan. The tribes were scattered. They have their different rules and traditions, and every tribe has its own leader. So he became king of Afghanistan, and then he unified the scattered tribes of Afghanistan into a single nation. So, into a single nation, that's why Lama Iqbal also said and realized the importance of Afghanistan, because the Afghanistan was only the single nation at that time. So in that region, so Lama Iqbal realized the importance of Afghanistan, and Ahmad Shah Abdali reunited all these. Ahmad Shah Abdali reunited all these tribes. Listen carefully, beta.
ये देख कुत्ते के बच्चे अभी दे रहे हैं, ये देख ये देख ये देख
Okay, so the same year, as I told you, the young Afghan chief Ahmad Shah Abdali became the king of Afghanistan. He unified all the tribes. He was a great king, and he always concerned about any decision he was going to take, and when he was going to take any decision, he consulted the nobles before making important decisions. That's why he was called a constitutional monarch, a king or queen who must follow a written or unwritten constitutions. So those who follow the constitution, and you all know about the meaning of constitution, a set of laws, a set of laws. Muhammad Ahmed, check your device. Are you listening me all? Tell me, are you listening me? Okay. Muhammad Ahmed, beta, please check your device. Rumesa, again check your device, beta. Okay, so he unified the all the tribes, and he made them in a shape of nation, and he unified all them. He followed the constitution. When he always made any type of decision, he consulted the nobles before making important decisions. So Lama Iqbal also impressed the impressed this, and he realized that the importance of Afghanistan, and he said that Asia is a single organism and Afghanistan is the heart in it. The whole organism falls ill if the heart is diseased. So he gave an example of heart and a body, and he said that if a heart is is a heart is in any type of disease, so the whole organism falls in, and the whole organism is Asia. So he said that Allama Iqbal said that unity of Afghani tribes are is very important for Asia, and Afghanistan is just like a heart in Asian organism. So he told the people that if they want to get progress of any type, they should be united. So Jamaluddin Afghani was Ahmad Shah Abdali was the first emperor who unified all the tribes of Afghanistan, and he always follow the constitution. He always follow the different types of rules. So this that's why this is called the, and the heading of our lecture is the Afghan rebirth. So through this, Ahmad Shah Abdali gave rebirth to Afghanistan. He unified the tribes, and before him, the tribes were scattered. They have their own customs, they have their own traditions, and they had their own leaders. But he unified the Afghani tribes and made them a nation. Is it clear? So, like this, every where there was the age of enlightenment, and everyone and most of the countries and most of the areas knew about their rights. So they tried and struggled for their freedom, like this in the West. Like Afghanistan, we can see that how Ahmad Shah Abdali became the king, and he unified the tribes and made them a nation of Afghanistan. And what was the point of view of Iqbal about the importance of Afghanistan? Same like in West, the state of North America, or the states of North America were ruled by the British Parliament. In 1776, a war started in which British armies were defeated and US gained its independence. So in the West, as I told you, North America were American states were ruled by the British. British, as I told you in my previous lecture, that British Empire developed many types of colonies in the different countries, faraway countries like this. In North America, also many states were ruled by British Parliament, and the people of American states no say in electing the members. So the people of North America had not any type of right of to cast the vote, and they said that they will not pay the taxes to the parliament that was not chosen by them. So a war followed in which British armies were defeated. So after that, there was a war started in 1776, in which British armies were defeated and United States. US means United States gained its independence. After 13 years, when United States in 1776 gained its independence, right after 13 years in 1789, a French Revolution was also started. French Revolution was also started. Abdullah. Beta, be focused towards your lecture. Okay, I told you that first of all, United States gained freedom from British, and they gained independence. And after 13 years, a revolution was started in France in 1789. And unlike the American Revolution, in France, people started a revolution. But after 4 years, king and his queens were beheaded. Unlike the American Revolution, the French Revolution did not result and in the permanent basis or permanent democracy, because Napoleon was the younger who was a revolutionary in revolutionary period, proclaimed that now he was the new king or emperor. So he proclaimed that he was the new emperor in 1804. So unlike American Revolution, the French Revolution did not result in permanent democracy, because Napoleon claimed that he was a new emperor in 1804. So after this, he launched a series of attacks on other states. Napoleon started to attack the other states, but finally he was defeated in the Battle of Loo by the British in 1815. So at last, when the Napoleon proclaimed that he was the new emperor in 1804, after that he started to attack and other states also, but at last, finally, he defeated in the Battle of Waterloo by the British in 1815. So, in the middle of 18th century, a French philosopher, Rousseau, declared men were born free, but everywhere they are in chains. When Rousseau was a great philosopher of from Greek, so he So he said that men were born free, but everywhere they are in chains. Men were born free, and everywhere they are in chains. So because he observed that everywhere there was colonialism, there were people who were enslaved from the powerful by the powerful nations. So he said, and he said that men was born free, but everywhere they are in chains. And this is the free translation of Hazrat Umar saying, when Hazrat Umar knew by someone that one of his governor enslaved the people, so he wrote a letter to one of his governor, and he said that, since when did you enslave the people? Their mothers had born them free. So since when you enslave the people when their mothers born them free? So all these sayings you have also read in your previous book in sixth class in the chapter human rights, and this is all about human rights, because everywhere in that time, when the in 1776 and before 1776, North America was enslaved by ruled by the British, and when the French Revolution started and different types of the things were happened, then Rousseau gave a statement about the human rights, and he was a very great thinker and philosopher, and he always encouraged the human rights. So he said, when since they do enslave the people, their mothers had born them when their mothers had born them free. So Hazrat Umar also, Hazrat Umar said this, and Rosu said that men were born free, but everywhere they are in chains. Same like this, different types of saints are present here. So our Holy Prophet also was a great admirer of human rights. He also encouraged the human rights. So in that time, in 1776 and 1789 and 1815, there was a that was a time of revolution. That was a time of enlightenment, as Europe powers came to rule foreign lands, and wealth started pouring in. Their people at home acquired better resources for learning. So in the middle of 18th century, Rosu said this, and in the age of in the era of Hazrat Umar, he also said to his one of his governors, since when did you enslave the people? Their mothers had born them free. So all these about that things that people should know about their rights. And with the passage of time, when the North America and France and different nations knew their rights, so this age was called the age of enlightenment. This age was called enlightenment. So the industrial revolution was started. After that, the industrial revolution was started, and how it was started, we can see in our slide and also in our book on page number 70. Are you listening me all? Are you there? Any question? If you have any question in your mind, you can ask me. Are you listening me? Are you listening me? Okay. Okay, Aisha Javed. Any question? Asia Abhi Fatma. Okay. So, what was the age of enlightenment? So, we can see that through the industrial revolution, apart from great thinkers, the age of enlightenment also witnessed inventors who introduced new machines. Like a Scottish engineer, James Watt, improved the steam engine. The American painter Samuel Morse perfected the single wire telegram system. So, with the passage of time, when the advancement of learning was there, loyalty to towards their country and democracy made the European nations more powerful. They started to invent different things. They started to do different inventions, and that's why this era was called the industrial revolution, or the era of the age of enlightenment. So you can see that apart from all these great thinkers, the age of enlightenment, many inventors who introduced new machines for performing tasks with greater ease. So they were powerful, they were loyal towards their countries, they gained their freedom, they gained their right to cast vote. So they followed the constitutions, and they made their parliaments, and where their different type of members were there, and they elect them. So this age was the age of enlightenment, and who introduced new machines for performing tasks with greater ease. So they made the different types of machines for their ease. Like as I told you that James Watt improved the steam engine English scientist Michael Faraday founded the electric motor technology, and the American painter Samuel Morse perfected the single wire telegram system. So all these things were going in progress. The period of these changes is called the Industrial Revolution. So the period of these changes is called the Industrial Revolution. Okay, so okay, you can revise your lecture, and then I will ask you the questions, and I will also give you the review of our today's lecture. So from start, I will give the review to you. First of all, you can revise your lecture. After that, I will ask you the questions. That's why I'm going to give you a review. So, wait a minute, Ula, beta. Wait a minute. When I will ask you the question, then you will give me the answer. Mir Arham. Just listen to me. You are right, but wait a minute. Okay, then the Afghan rebirth. First of all, we discussed about the Afghan leader, the Persian Emperor Nadir Shah Durrani was assassinated. After that, the Afghan chief Ahmad Shah Abdali became the king. So after that, when he became the king, he unified the scattered tribes of Afghanistan and made them a proper nation. He followed the constitution. He consulted everything with the noble persons when he was going to made any type of decisions. So he was the great leader. Ahmad Shah Abdali was a great leader. Next, there was a war in 1776. The war started in 1776, and North America and US gained, North America defeated British, and US gained independence after 13 years, 1789. Our revolution started in France. Then, unlike American Revolution, it did not result in permanent democracy because Napoleon, a younger revolutionary person who proclaimed as a new emperor in 1804, but he was finally defeated in the Battle of Waterloo by British in 1815. So after this, the middle of century of 18th century, Rousseau said men were born free, but everywhere they are in chain, because Rousseau was a great supporter of human rights, and he said that when the men were born free, why they were in chains everywhere. Then we can see the saying of Hazrat Umar about the human rights also, and we can See that he said to one of his governor, since when did you enslave the people? Their mothers had born them free. After that, we can see that uh, when the Europeans got advancement in learning and they were being loyal towards their country, they got democracy, they got right to cast vote. After that, they started to invent different type of things for their ease, like a Scottish engineer James Watt improved the steam engine. The American painter Samuel Morse perfected the single wire telegram. So all these things were happened, and that's why this era is called the industrial revolutionary era. So this all is called the industrial revolution because of this. They made different types of things, and as a result, there was no more need for slaves and slavery, and they became instinct in the civilized world, and they tried to get better facilities for them and for their people. So they developed and they invented different types of things, and that's why this era was called the Industrial Revolutionary era. So now give me the answer. Who was the Persian emperor and who was the Afghani chief? Firstly, in 1747, who was the Persian emperor and who was the Afghan chief? Hurry up, beta. Rumesa, Haris, Manur, Habib. Give me
Nasir
the
Shah
answer
Durrani.
in your chat box, beta. Hurry up.
Mike era.
Hurry up, beta. Give me the answer. Okay. Yes. Yes. Ahmad Shah Abdali. Yes. Rumesa, well done. Asia, Nadir Shah, Afra, well done. Ahmad Shah Abdali, Abdullah Ishtiaq, well done. Good. Very good. Who was the founder of motor technology and who improved the steam engine? Hurry up. Give me the answer. Abdullah, Ula Fatma, Mir Arham, Aisha beta. Yes. Yes, Aisha. Well done. Muhammad Ali, good. Keep it up. Abhi Fatma, yes. Ahmad Shabdali, you gave the answer of first question and second question. Um, yes. Asia, Scottish engineer James Watt improved steam engine. Yes, well done. Abhi Fatma, yes, good. Now tell me what was the real actual meaning of industrial revolution? Why this era was called the industrial revolutionary era? Hurry up. And second question is, what was the saying of Rousseau about human rights? Who will give me the answer? Mohammad Ahmad Hassan, give me the answer. Mohammad Ahmad, Murtaza Haider, Murtaza, yes beta, hurry up. Give me the answer in your chat box beta. Yes, Michael Faraday founded electric motor technology. Muhammad Ali asked the question why this era was called industrial revolutionary era. And what was the time of or the period of war which was fought between North American and British? Tell me the answer. In which year they fought a war, the war which was fought between North America and British? Muhammad Ali, tell me the answer. Sheroz, give me the answer. The year of the war of North America and British.
नहीं ले रही हूँ भैया
Okay,
थोड़ी
Rumesa,
सी
good. Tell me the answer, hurry up.
Miss Michael Faraday was the founder of the electric motor technology.
Okay, write down in your chat box. Good. Well done. I'm asking the question other than,
Michael Freddy.
okay, just write down the answer in your chat box. Okay. I'm asking the questions other
सोने
than,
वाली है इधर दो
Miss
मिनट
Michael
से पहले
Faraday,
खत्म कर मिस माइकल फ्रेडी
बोल तो रहा हूँ. Miss Michael Faraday was a founder of the electric motor technology.
well done. So next question is, and you can write down, Beta, you have to write down in your chat box. You have to write down in your chat box. Is it clear? So, next question is, okay. So, as I asked you, who improved the steam engine, and you have answered me, well done. Who was the founder of motor technology? Good, good, Promesa and Sheroz, well done. And I'm asking the question, what was the year of revolution in France, and who was the revolutionary emperor of France? And write down the answer. Write down the answer in your chat box. Hurry up, beta, hurry up. Time is too short. What was the year of French Revolution? What was the year of French Revolution? Hurry up. Write down in your chat box. Hurry up, beta. Time is too short. We have to wind up our lecture. That's all for today. Please learn these things very carefully. Take care. Allah Hafiz.